See that bird? Hey guys, welcome back for yet another video. Today we are going to discuss everything about watering and watering schedules and what you need to do to be able to get a dark, lush green lawn and not overwater. Overwatering is not your friend. Neither is underwatering. There is a perfect balance between those two spots and sticking around, and I'm going to show you just how to get there. But first, my lawn, it needs a mow. So I'm going to get right on that, get this thing clipped, and then we're going to be putting out some measuring cups. If you don't have measuring cups that have the stakes on them, not the delicious steaks you eat, the ones that go into the ground. If you don't have any of the staked measuring cups, you can order them online, or you can use the more common tuna can way by using a tuna can and marking a 1/2 inch line on the inside of the tuna can. So with that said, let's get this lawn mowed, and we will get the stakes set out, and we will get to watering and see exactly just how long it takes to get to that 1/2 inch mark. Always check your gas, folks. Before you start. Also, don't fill up on your grass, because if you spill it, you're gonna kill it. I also wanted to touch down real quick on something that, even if you've done this, say you did it last season, I personally would do it at least beginning of the year of every season. Especially in my area, we live in an area that's constantly new housing. New houses are being built. I mean, just up the street, we got probably a dozen houses that are going up, and a dozen that just went up and people moved in a month or two ago. Our water pressure is constantly changing around here because we do have that new construction going on. So with that said, obviously maybe our watering times will change and how long it takes to get that 1/2 inch put out. Normally I run my cycles, it takes about 30 minutes on the rotary heads in the back, and then it takes about 20 minutes or so on the front, which I just have stationary pop-up heads. It takes me about 20 minutes to hit that 1/2 inch mark. I do that twice a week in the late spring, early summer. In the hotter months, I'm going to be watering 3 times a week, because that's going to get me 1.5 inches. So if you find your lawn has taken on a grayish cast or appears to be dull green color, it's telling you that it needs water. You can also check your lawn by walking on it. If your footprints don't disappear quickly, it's because the grass blades don't have the needed moisture to spring back. While it may seem like you can head out to water your lawn anytime during the day, your lawn actually needs more specific care. Watering in the morning before 10 a.m., I personally start watering to where my cycle finishes before sunrise. I find this the best time for my lawn and your lawn, most likely. At this time it's going to be cooler and winds tend to be calmer, so water can soak into the soil and be absorbed by the grass roots before it can evaporate. If you must water in the evening, try between 4 and 6 p.m., which should give the grass blades time to dry before nightfall. The later you water, the greater chance of disease becoming prevalent in your lawn. When watering an established lawn, it's typically recommended to water until the top 6 to 8 inches of soil, where most turf grass roots grow, will get the moisture that it needs. Most lawns need 1 to 1.5 inches of water per week, either from rain or watering with irrigation, just to get it to soak to the soil to that 6 to 8 inch mark. That amount of water can either be applied during a single watering or divided into 2 waterings during the week. I personally split mine up to prevent any runoff, but that also depends on what type of soil you have. If it's sandy, it drains a lot quicker. If it's more clay-like, it holds on to the moisture a lot better, but tends to have more runoff with that clay-like soil. And then these ones, this one's good. This one's getting, excuse me. This one's getting 1/4 inch, and that's only on 15 minutes. And I usually run these for half an hour, which usually gives me my 1/2 inch. So I do have good coverage here between this head and this head in the corner, between this whole area. That gives me a half, that gives me a 1/2 inch for a half an hour. But this section in the middle definitely needs to be angled downwards. Go over here and check these. And this is why you want to check at least once a year, because things change. I mean, last year this was dialed in perfectly and I didn't have any issues. So same with this one. We got a little over 10. So again, that tells me that this head in the corner and then this one up here the arc needs to be angled downwards. And then this one's a little over 10, so yep, needs to be adjusted. But once they're adjusted, that tells me that it'll give me a 1/2 inch of water in a 30-minute time span. And as you can tell, and probably already know based off your own experiences, and maybe if you don't know, stationary heads such as these, meaning they don't move, they're not rotary, they don't spin or go in any sort of rotation, they're just stationary. These are gonna fill up those cups a lot faster than in the backyard with the rotary heads, because they're not moving constantly, so they're just hitting and saturating the one spot in which they're designed for that area to hit. So they're going to fill up a lot faster, which is why stationary heads are a favorite amongst homeowners. But if you have a bigger area outside of 1,000 square feet, rotary heads are going to reach further and require less zones. So that's why you'll see a mix, kind of like mine, how I have stationaries up front. This is 1,000 square feet up here, and then we have the rotaries in the backyard. But these are definitely filling up a lot faster. We'll have a 1/2 inch with it probably within 15 minutes. So we'll see where we're at in about 10 more minutes. As you can see, after just 10 minutes, we've got quarter inch on that guy there. This one here in the center of the main heads, we've got 0.25, it's 1/4 inch. This one's a little bit more. This one we got 0.30. So, and then this one down here, which isn't even really part of that zone, it's just getting some of that other spray from that zone. It's kind of in the middle of the two zones. But this one we got about 1/10 of an inch. So we'll move these over to this zone over here, see how they do. So based off of that, with these here, this tells me that 20 minutes, because in 10 minutes we got 1/4 of an inch average. So about 10 minutes we should get, or excuse me, in 20 minutes we should have our 1/2 of an inch. All right, so zone 2 just finished up, and it's about as same as zone 1. We're sitting at about 0.20 in 10 minutes. This is pretty compact up here, so I was thinking it's probably not getting enough water. And no, not as much as the other area. Getting 1/10 of an inch in 10 minutes. So that head needs to be adjusted. This one down here did great. This one got .25 on that one. It's like I was saying, about 20 minutes for the stationary heads up front. Same with this guy here. 0.20. So to get 1/2 of an inch per cycle, we're gonna need to be running in about 20 minutes. 20-25 minutes, depending on the day and if there's mild winds. I mean, where I live, there's always some amount of wind. Doesn't matter. Like, it's just, there's always some type of wind. But yeah, so I'd say it's pretty consistent as far as about 20 minutes, 20-25 minutes for the front, and then about 35 minutes for the backyard, which has changed since last year, but that's also because I need to adjust some of those heads in the backyard. So I think once those get adjusted, it'll do just fine and be back to 1/2 an hour per zone. So yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit of work. You don't have to use these. You can use the tuna can, which is 1 inch tall, and mark 1/2 an inch on the inside of the can, and then just set them out in your yard like I did with these. Yep, that's how you do it. That being said, you guys enjoy the rest of your night, day, wherever it is you're at. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, and we will see you next time. Peace.